The way you talk to yourself determines everything. Your confidence, your discipline, your success, it all starts with the words you use in your own mind. If you fill your head with doubt, hesitation, and negativity, your actions will reflect it. But if you train yourself to speak with power, certainty, and belief, your life will follow. Most people are their own worst enemy. They tear themselves down in ways they would never do to someone else. They replay their failures, criticize their abilities, and reinforce their own limitations. And because they repeat these thoughts daily, they start to believe them. They create a pattern, a cycle, a mindset that keeps them stuck in the same place. But what happens when you change the way you speak to yourself? What happens when you talk to yourself with the same encouragement, certainty, and strength that you would give a close friend? What happens when you stop feeding yourself excuses and start reinforcing success? You change, your actions change, your results change, and over time, your entire identity shifts. It takes 21 days to build a habit. And if you commit to changing your self-talk for 21 days, you will see a transformation in your thinking, your confidence, and your ability to take action. The words you use become your reality. And the good news, you have complete control over them. For the next 21 days, you must commit to one thing. No more speaking to yourself like a failure. No more telling yourself why you cannot. No more reinforcing the version of you that hesitates, doubts, and makes excuses. Instead, you will speak in a way that pushes you forward. You will use words that build strength, not weakness. You will replace negativity with power, hesitation with certainty, and self-doubt with self-respect. Most people do not realize how powerful their inner dialogue is. They assume their thoughts are automatic. They believe their emotions dictate their self-talk. But the truth is, your mind will believe whatever you tell it most often. If you tell yourself you are disciplined, you will act disciplined. If you tell yourself you are confident, you will carry yourself with confidence. If you tell yourself you are built for success, your actions will start to reflect it. The challenge is that most people have spent years reinforcing the wrong beliefs. They have told themselves for so long that they are not good enough, not capable, not strong enough. And because they have said it so often, their subconscious mind has accepted it as fact. But beliefs can be rewritten, and it starts with the way you talk to yourself. For 21 days, you will replace weak self-talk with strong self-talk. This is not just about affirmations. This is about reprogramming your mind through repetition, conviction, and action. This is about becoming the kind of person who speaks with certainty. And when you do that, your brain rewires itself. Your confidence grows. Your hesitation disappears. And before you even realize it, you have become someone new. If you do this for 21 days, if you commit to speaking with power, training your mind, and rejecting negativity, you will feel unstoppable. You will think differently. You will act differently. And your results will prove it. So the question is, are you ready to change the way you talk to yourself? Are you ready to shift your mindset, build discipline, and create the kind of confidence that lasts? If so, then for the next 21 days, you must follow 5 principles that will change your self-talk forever. Because when you control your words, you control your thoughts. And when you control your thoughts, you control everything else. The first key to transforming your self-talk in 21 days is eliminating weak language. The words you use either create power or destroy it. They either push you forward or pull you back. Most people sabotage themselves without realizing it because they fill their mind with words that create hesitation, doubt, and fear. They say, "I'll try." But trying is not commitment. Trying is leaving space for failure. Trying is giving yourself an escape route when things get tough. You do not try, you do. When you tell yourself, "I will try to wake up early," you have already given yourself permission to hit snooze. But when you say, "I wake up early because I am disciplined," you reinforce a different reality. They say, "I have to." But having to do something creates resistance. It makes you feel like a victim of your own life. You do not have to work out, you get to. You do not have to build your business, you choose to. The way you frame your actions changes how you feel about them. And when you shift your language, you shift your results. They say, "I can't." But can't is a lie. It is an excuse that justifies inaction. If you say, "I can't stay consistent," you are reinforcing inconsistency. If you say, "I can't change," you are programming your mind to stay the same. But if you replace "I can't" with "I am figuring this out," you shift your focus from limitation to possibility. And that shift makes all the difference. Every time you speak, you are reinforcing an identity. You are either conditioning yourself for strength or for weakness. And if you want to become unstoppable, you must train yourself to speak like someone who is unstoppable. The first step is replacing weak phrases with powerful statements. At first, this may feel unnatural. You have spent years reinforcing certain beliefs through your words. Your subconscious mind is used to the old script. But the moment you start speaking with strength, you begin rewiring your mind for a new reality. The second step is speaking with certainty, not hesitation. Most people speak as if they are unsure of themselves. They use words like maybe, I think, I guess, hopefully. These words create doubt. They weaken your conviction. They send a message to your brain that you are not fully committed. And when your words lack certainty, your actions will lack certainty. Successful people do not speak in weak, uncertain terms. They speak with conviction. And because they do, their brain responds with confidence. Their actions follow their words, and their results prove it. The third step is controlling your inner dialogue in difficult moments. Your self-talk is most important when you face resistance. Anyone can think positively when things are going well. But how do you talk to yourself when things get hard? When doubt creeps in? When you want to quit? Most people let their emotions dictate their self-talk. They tell themselves, "This is too much. I don't know if I can handle this. Maybe I should give up." And because they repeat these thoughts, they reinforce fear, hesitation, and weakness. But strong people, they control their thoughts, especially in difficult moments. When things get tough, they say, "I was built for this." When they feel tired, they say, "I keep going, no matter what." When things do not go their way, they say, "I find a way to win." And because they speak to themselves with power, their actions follow. The fourth step is eliminating self-deprecating talk. Most people joke about their flaws. They say things like, "I'm just lazy. I always procrastinate. I'm not good at anything." They think they are being funny, but what they are really doing is reinforcing a negative self-image. They are being funny, but what they are really doing is reinforcing a negative self-image. Your brain does not know the difference between a joke and a belief. If you keep saying, "I'm bad at this," your mind will accept it as reality. If you keep saying, "I always fail," you will subconsciously act in ways that make failure inevitable. You must stop speaking about yourself in a way that weakens you. Every time you talk about yourself, you are giving your subconscious mind a command. And if you want to build confidence, you must speak like someone who is already confident. The final step is making powerful self-talk a habit. This is not something you do once and forget about. This is something you practice daily, every time you speak, every time you think, every time you face a challenge. Every morning, set the tone for the day with strong words. When you wake up, tell yourself, "I am disciplined. I am focused. I am capable of achieving anything." Before you start a task, say, "I execute with confidence and energy." When you feel resistance, tell yourself, "I push through no matter what." At first, this will take effort. You will have to catch yourself when weak self-talk slips in. You will have to consciously replace old patterns with new ones. But over time, strong self-talk will become natural. It will become automatic. And when that happens, everything changes. So ask yourself, am I speaking like someone who is strong, disciplined, and confident? Or am I reinforcing old patterns of hesitation and doubt? Because once you master your self-talk, you master your mindset. And once you master your mindset, nothing can stop you. Once you eliminate weak language, the next key to transforming your self-talk in 21 days is building an internal dialogue that reinforces confidence and certainty. Most people talk to themselves in a way that makes them shrink. They doubt. They second guess. They hesitate. And because they repeat these patterns daily, their mind adapts to them. Their actions become weak because their thoughts are weak. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you condition. It is something you build through repetition. And it starts with how you speak to yourself. The way you talk to yourself creates the way you see yourself. And the way you see yourself determines what you become. The first step to reinforcing confidence is speaking about yourself as if you are already the person you want to be. Most people say, "I want to be confident. I want to be disciplined. I hope I can stay focused." But the moment you say, "I want to be," you are reinforcing that you are not yet that person. You are creating distance between who you are and who you want to become. And that distance weakens your mindset. Confident people do not wish to be confident. They do not hope to be strong. They claim it. They own it. They do not say, "I want to be disciplined." They say, "I am disciplined." They do not say, "I hope I succeed." They say, "I create success." They do not say, "I need to be more confident." They say, "I am confident, disciplined." They do not say, "I hope I succeed." They say, "I create success." They do not say, "I need to be more confident." They say, "I am confident." The way you frame your identity matters. If you want to be confident, speak as if you are confident. If you want to be disciplined, speak as if you are disciplined. Your mind will adapt to the identity you reinforce most often. The second step is eliminating uncertainty from your language. Most people speak in ways that weaken their conviction. They say things like, "I think I can do this. I'll try my best. Maybe it'll work." These statements contain doubt. They leave space for hesitation. They signal to your brain that you are not sure of yourself. And when you are not sure, you hesitate. Confident people speak with absolute certainty. They do not say, I think I can do this. They say, I will do this. They do not say, I'll try. They say, I do what is necessary. They do not say, maybe I'll succeed. They say, I make success inevitable. The way you phrase things changes how your brain processes them. If you speak with hesitation, your actions will reflect hesitation. If you speak with certainty, your actions will reflect certainty. The third step is repeating powerful statements until they become your default thoughts. Most people are not aware of how often they repeat the same self-defeating phrases. They say things like, I'm not good enough. I always mess up. I'm not built for this. And because they say these things so often, their brain accepts them as truth. Their identity forms around them, and their results reflect them. But just as negative thoughts can be conditioned, so can powerful ones. If you tell yourself every day, I am built for success, your brain will accept it. If you repeat, I find a way to win, your actions will start aligning with that belief. If you reinforce, I push through no matter what, your discipline will reflect it. The key is repetition. Your mind learns through consistent reinforcement. If you tell yourself something once, it will not stick. But if you tell yourself something every day for 21 days, it will become automatic. It will become the dominant thought pattern in your mind. And once it becomes automatic, confidence follows effortlessly. The fourth step is using self-talk to override fear and hesitation. Fear is what stops most people from taking action. They hesitate, they second guess, they let doubt creep in. And their self-talk feeds the fear. They tell themselves, what if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not ready? And because they focus on fear, they become paralyzed. Talk feeds the fear. They tell themselves, what if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not ready? And because they focus on fear, they become paralyzed. Confident people override fear with certainty. When doubt creeps in, they counter it with strength. When hesitation appears, they speak with power. They do not entertain weak thoughts. They replace them with strong ones. The mind will believe whatever it hears most often. If you feed it fear, it will respond with hesitation. But if you feed it confidence, it will respond with bold action. The final step is training your mind to always find a way forward. Weak self-talk focuses on limitations. It focuses on why things will not work, why it is too hard, why success is impossible. But confident self-talk always looks for solutions. It always asks, how do I make this happen? Your mind is a problem-solving machine, but it will only find solutions if you train it to look for them. If you constantly speak in a way that assumes you will succeed, your mind will start finding ways to make it true. So ask yourself, am I reinforcing confidence or feeding doubt? Am I speaking with certainty or hesitation? Am I training my mind to find solutions or excuses? Because once you take control of your internal dialogue, you take control of everything else. Once you reinforce confidence in your self-talk, the next key to transforming yourself in 21 days is removing emotional weakness from your words. The way you speak to yourself determines how you respond to discomfort, setbacks, and pressure. Most people let their emotions control their words, and because of that, their words weaken them. They reinforce frustration, hesitation, and stress through the language they use. But strong people, they train their mind to use words that create resilience, not weakness. Most people say, I feel tired. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like giving up. They constantly remind themselves of their exhaustion, their stress, their struggle. And because they repeat these words, they make the feelings stronger. They give power to their emotions instead of controlling them. Your emotions are not in charge of you. Your words shape your emotions. Your words shape your energy. Your words shape your ability to push forward. If you want to become stronger, you must speak like someone who is strong, especially when things get difficult. You must speak like someone who is strong, especially when things get difficult. The first step to removing emotional weakness from your self-talk is replacing reactionary language with intentional language. Most people speak reactively. They say whatever they feel in the moment without realizing that their words are reinforcing those feelings. They feel tired, so they say, I'm exhausted. They feel stressed, so they say, this is overwhelming. They feel unmotivated, so they say, I don't feel like doing this. But strong people speak intentionally. They do not give energy to weakness. They do not reinforce feelings that hold them back. When they feel tired, they say, I have the energy to push through. When they feel stressed, they say, I handle pressure with strength. When they feel unmotivated, they say, I take action no matter how I feel. Your words can either amplify negative emotions or override them. The choice is yours. The second step is removing victim language from your self-talk. Most people use words that make them feel powerless. They say things like, this always happens to me. Why is everything so hard? I have the worst luck. But this type of language reinforces the idea that life is happening to them instead of them taking control. Strong people do not speak like victims. They do not complain. They do not make excuses. They take full responsibility for their actions, their mindset, and their results. Your brain believes what you tell it most often. If you speak like a victim, you will feel powerless. If you speak like someone in control, you will become unstoppable. The third step is controlling your words in high-pressure situations. Most people let stress dictate their self-talk. When things go wrong, they immediately react with frustration. They say things like, this is too much. I can't handle this. I don't know what to do. And because they repeat these phrases, they reinforce a feeling of helplessness. But strong people use self-talk to stay composed under pressure. They do not allow chaos to control their mind. When things go wrong, they say, I remain calm and in control. When pressure increases, they say, I perform well under stress. When they do not have an immediate solution, they say, I always figure things out. Your words dictate your emotional state. If you use language that reinforces stress, you will feel overwhelmed. If you use language that reinforces control, you will stay composed. And in high-pressure situations, composure is the difference between success and failure. The fourth step is removing hesitation from your self-talk. Most people speak in a way that creates uncertainty. They hesitate in their words, and that hesitation translates into their actions. They say, I'll see if I can do it. I hope I can stay consistent. Maybe I'll follow through. But these phrases leave room for failure. They create doubt before action is even taken. Strong people remove hesitation from their words. They do not leave space for weakness. Confidence is built through certainty, and certainty starts with the way you speak to yourself. The final step is making self-talk a tool for relentless action. The people who succeed the most are the ones who take action consistently, without waiting for motivation, without overthinking, without hesitation. They don't sit around waiting. to feel ready. They make themselves ready through their words and their actions. Most people talk themselves out of action. They think too much. They analyze too much. They let small excuses build into big roadblocks. But the most successful people, they use self-talk to force themselves into motion. When they feel resistance, they say, I take action immediately. When they feel doubt, they say, I trust myself and move forward. When their emotions try to slow them down, they say, I am disciplined and I follow through no matter what. And because they speak this way, they train themselves to act this way. They condition their brain for relentless execution. They make action their default state. So ask yourself, am I using words that make me stronger or weaker? Am I speaking like a victim or like someone in control? Am I reinforcing hesitation? Or am I training my mind for certainty? Because once you remove emotional weakness from your self-talk, you remove excuses from your life. And when there are no excuses left, there is nothing stopping you. Once you remove emotional weakness from your self-talk, the next key to transforming yourself in 21 days is conditioning your mind for resilience and discipline. Most people lose momentum because their words make them fragile. They let setbacks break their confidence. They let discomfort stop them. They let the first sign of struggle make them question everything. But strong people, they train their self-talk to turn pressure into power. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It is about using failure to become stronger. It is not about feeling motivated every day. It is about showing up whether you feel like it or not. And discipline is not about waiting for inspiration. It is about making your actions non-negotiable. The first step to conditioning your mind for resilience is reframing failure through your words. Most people talk about failure as if it is final. They say, I failed, so maybe this isn't for me. I keep messing up. I don't know if I can do this. And because they speak this way, they program their mind to fear failure instead of learning from it. Successful people speak about failure differently. They do not say, I failed. They say, I learned. They do not say, I keep making mistakes. They say, I keep getting better. They do not say, this is too hard. They say, I get stronger with every challenge. Your mind follows the meaning you give to failure. If you see it as proof that you are not good enough, you will hesitate. But if you see it as part of the process, you will keep moving forward. The second step is using self-talk to create discipline instead of relying on motivation. Most people speak as if their emotions control their actions. They say, I don't feel like working out today. I'm not in the mood to get things done. I'll wait until I'm motivated. But this type of thinking creates inconsistency. If your self-talk is based on feelings, your actions will always be unpredictable. I'm not in the mood to get things done. I'll wait until I'm motivated. But this type of thinking creates inconsistency. If your self-talk is based on feelings, your actions will always be unpredictable. Your words must reflect commitment, not emotion. If you train your mind to speak like someone who follows through, you will start acting like someone who follows through. The third step is removing hesitation from your decision-making process. Most people lose momentum because they overthink. They let fear create delays. They hesitate. They second guess. They wait too long to take action. And the longer they wait, the more doubt builds in their mind. Hesitation is a killer. It weakens confidence. It makes small tasks feel overwhelming. It allows excuses to take over. But strong people do not hesitate. They make decisions fast. They trust themselves. They train their mind to act immediately. Confidence comes from action, not overthinking. And action starts with how you speak to yourself. The fourth step